Hello dear students, today we have moved in a new lecture, but in this lecture we will cover some new topic with new ideas and new concepts. Hi, hello everyone, my name is Eras and how are you? I hope you are very good, you are well today and you are well satisfied in your personal life. Today, the name of the topic is the photosynthesis. You have heard the name of the photosynthesis from the last year or the past year, or maybe this photosynthesis is going to be useful for your higher classes, but today I will clear all the dots which is related to the photosynthesis, and the rest one you can clear in the higher classes. But now the questions here arises is that what is photosynthesis, or can you tell me the definitions of photosynthesis? Then of course yes, I will suggest you what is the definitions of photosynthesis, or if someone may ask you what is photosynthesis, then you will just simply say that okay, photosynthesis, which is a type of process. So photosynthesis is only a process through which plants are able to make their food. Or you can just simply say that if someone asks you what is photosynthesis, I'm giving the answer. The process through which plants obtains or makes or prepare their food is called photosynthesis. That's a simple concept which is related to the photosynthesis. Okay, let me explain the standard definitions of photosynthesis and then I will cover the basic definitions of photosynthesis. But I have already told you what is photosynthesis. But now let us come to the point. What I have just here mentioned is that I have mentioned that the process through which green plants makes or obtains their food from simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide, water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll are called photosynthesis, which is called as the named, that is the photosynthesis. If plants are doing a process, and in that process what a plants is going to be used, then the plants are going to be used a simple inorganic substances. So what is inorganic substance? One boy or one girl may arise a question from me, sir, can you tell me what is the definitions of inorganic substances? Okay, let me explain. Actually, and the basically what you are going to be available in your surroundings, then this is the inorganic substances, that is the natural obtaining substances are the inorganic substances, and this definition is only for the reference purposes. Concept clear? Clear? Of course clear. So what is available in our environment or in our surroundings or in our nature? So in our nature there is available water, sunlight, carbon dioxide and etc. These all are the simple inorganic substances. I hope you have learned what is inorganic substances. So the plants use the simple inorganic substances, not the complex, but what is the simple like carbon dioxide and water, and not uses these simple inorganic substances, but also in the presence of what? The presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, plants do a process and two in order to make a food. And then these whole processes are called or is called as the photosynthesis. I think you have learned what is photosynthesis. Okay, let me explain the simple and the basic definitions which is related to the photosynthesis. Now, let us see. I'm writing here and I'm explaining that the process through which green plants makes, or you can say that in place of makes, you can also say that prepared food is called as the photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Actually, basically, this is a process, not things, but not going to be happening, but not a phenomena, but it's a process. Concept clear? The process that plants are doing anything, I don't know, but they are doing a process, and by this process plants are obtaining or preparing food, then this process is going to be called as their name, that is the photosynthesis. This is how plants are able to make food. Photosynthesis, the photosynthesis is a food making process by the all the green plants including trees. Have you got it? Of course yes. Okay, now, what is going to be happen in the photosynthesis process? In the photosynthesis process, I have explained these all things as a part of the photosynthesis, because in this process named photosynthesis, this is the process that is the chemical reactions which is going to be happening in photosynthesis, which is a food making process. I have written that if photosynthesis, what is the use? What is the inorganic substances that going to be take part in that this process, which is named as the photosynthesis. I have written carbon dioxide, water, but in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, plants are able to complete this process, and as a output result, that is the product is a food, that is the glucose and plus oxygen. Concept clear now? Now let us talk about this one. If someone may thinking that, sir, you have written sunlight divided by chlorophyll. No, I am not writing this. You can also write here. You can also write upper side chlorophyll and the lower side sunlight. How you are feeling good to write, you can also write. Not it's a condition that sunlight should must be in the upper side or chlorophyll should must be lower side. Concept clear? Okay, fine. Now I'm explaining that if from where carbon dioxide, plants take carbon dioxide in order to do a process called photosynthesis. But from where plants will obtain the carbon dioxide? So from air. From air, carbon dioxide can be obtained by the plants. Concept clear? Now, from where water will be taken by the plants? So from soil, from the soils, plants can easily take it easy. Okay. Now, sunlight, from where sunlight can be taken? So from the sun is the ultimate source of sunlight because that is the sun. So sunlight is can be captured by the plants, and chlorophyll is already present in the leaves of plants. Now this all things is going to be useful for photosynthesis, and using these all materials, plants are able to do to complete this process, and as a output they obtain glucose. So what is glucose? This is actually a food. On what type of food? So basically it is a carbohydrate. Concept clear? And as a output or as a best material of this photosynthesis, oxygen is produced. So from where oxygen is going to be in the environment, oxygen is going to be released in the environment as a best material of photosynthesis, because there is no role in the photosynthesis of oxygen. Concept clear? Okay. What I have told you here, this this is very important. Questions can be asked. What is photosynthesis? Write its reactions. Then you will just simply write, say just like this. But this is in the language form. But I am writing this in word equations form. I have written 6CO2 plus 6H2O, sunlight and also chlorophyll. So this will form as the C6H12O6 plus 6O2. So this is what, and this water is just like this, and this is sunlight, chlorophyll, and this is glucose formulas. Formula of glucose is C6H12O6. Concept clear? On oxygen, so how many oxygen? So 6O2, and this is the how 6 molecule of oxygen is going to be there. I hope you have learned what is photosynthesis. Okay, concept is clear? No problem, no problem. Okay, let me explain the. You can also write it. You can write it. I think you have written as a form of notes in your copy. Okay, now let us talk about the next one. Next one, first of all, I just wants to tell you what I have written here. These all the are the most important points or terms which is related to the photosynthesis that you should must be remember or recall these all points, because this is going to be very important for your several competitive examination when you will become a student of higher classes, or maybe come in your assignment or in your examination which is going to be conducted by your schools. I know you have somewhere learned in the schools right now. Anyhow, let us talk about this one. I have written this all are the most important, so you should must be take out or you should must be underline. I have written that the oxygen gas is produced during photosynthesis. So this is very important. This is very important. Okay, let me explain. You B are the people that takes always oxygen, and as a best product B released carbon dioxide. Similarly, when carbon dioxide is going to be used by the plants during photosynthesis, then as a best material they release as oxygen by the plants. Concept clear? If I am telling another things to you people, now listen to me. If plants is taking oxygen, then as a best material, plants will release carbon dioxide. And if the plants will going to take carbon dioxide, then as a best material, they release oxygen. And if oxygen is going to be taken by the plants, then they release carbon dioxide as a best material. This what I have told you, this is the also a important terms related to this photosynthesis that you should must be keep in your mind. Concept clear? But if someone may thinking that, sir, when will plants take oxygen or when will plants take carbon dioxide? Actually, and basically the fact is that plants will take carbon dioxide, but only conditions is that they take carbon dioxide, but when? So only during a process called photosynthesis. And if photosynthesis is not going to be done by the plants because food is already present in the plants, then plants will also take oxygen in order to sustain their life processes. Concept clear? Of course, yes. Some people might be thinking awkward because maybe some boy or girls student heard these things for the first time. That's why you are feeling just like that. But you can clear this by your consulting your teachers. Anyhow, but what I'm also that you're going to be tell. Anyhow, so what about the next point? I have written that the process of photosynthesis makes a food that is a simple carbohydrate called glucose. So this point is also important for your examination. So this should must be remembered. Plants, why you can questions arise here that why plants do a process called photosynthesis. So in order to obtain food, plants do a process called photosynthesis. So what type of food actually plants make? The plants make a food only one type, that is the glucose. And from glucose they get all the things: proteins, minerals, vitamins, carbohydrates, a starch, etc., etc., and many more different things. Because in order to sustain life, plants also need proteins, plants also needs minerals, vitamins. Of course, yes, that part I knew it. But you people and I watch it, left it. Now let us talk about the next point. What about this one? I have written that the glucose is converted into a complex carbohydrate called starch. You are thinking that glucose is going to be the final food material for the photosynthesis. Then this is not happening what you are thinking. But the fact is that if the glucose is finally going to be converted into a starch, and a starch is not the final solutions, but the starch will be also converted. But let me explain to only this point of view. So this is the most important line. So this must be underlined this line. Okay. Now the here questions arises that the starch is stored as food in the various parts of plants, including leaves. If someone may ask you where the starch is going to be present or going to be stored to in the various parts of the leaves, basically in the leaves, a starch is going to be stored as a food material. Concept clear? Of course clear. Now let us talk about the next one. I have written that, but some of the glucose is converted into other types of plant food. If you are thinking that a glucose, all the glucose are converted into a starch, then this is not right what you are thinking. But the some glucose are converted into a starch and little amount of glucose that is left which is not converted into the starch, then then that glucose will be converted into what? So I have written some of the glucose is converted into other types of plant food. What was that? Do you want to know? Okay, let me explain. Such as fats, oils, proteins, as well as vitamins. This is how I have already told you if what a plant needs. The plant needs of the fats, oils, and the vitamins and the minerals also, including proteins. Concept clear? If someone asks you the plant's need of proteins, of course yes, because I have already told you, I have already taught you. So you people should must be careful about this point and about this one. These all are the most important points what I have written here to complete your notes. to complete your notes. Okay, then let us talk about the next one. The next one I have written here, the synthesis of food or making of food occur in the leaves of a plant or a tree. If someone might thinking that you have written synthesis of food, it means what? It means making of food. The concept is clear. I have told you making of food, so you are thinking, oh, of course I know what you are saying, making of food. But if I am saying that is synthesis of food, then someone may be thinking, what is synthesis of food? Then so that's why I have written this as a reference purposes. To occur where the synthesis of food or making of food occur to in the leaves of plant, maybe plant or a tree. Tree also have leaves and the plants also have. So this point is going to be the most important point. Actually, these all points are the important point. What I have written here. Next one, and the last one, leaves are the food factories of plant. Do you want to know what is the meaning of this word? Actually, the meaning of this word is that food leaves are the food factories of a plant. That means food is going to be mixed in or made inside the leaves. Leaves build food for the plants. So that's why we called as the food factories of plant as a leaves. Okay, I hope you have learned about this one. Of course, yes. If you are feeling any confusion, then you can ask from me anytime because I'm already in your single click touch smartphone. Of course, yes. I hope you have learned about this. So you should must be write down in your copy because these all are what I have written here is only for you so that your notes should must be completed. So don't waste my energy. You should must be write it down this one in your copy. Okay? Okay then. Okay then. So first of all mention this one. First of all mention this one. Then I will touch the next point of view. Let me let me explain about this figure. What about this figure? What are you thinking in your mind? What I have told you about the photosynthesis. Okay, stop thinking about this figure and now listen to me. This is very easy to learn, not a difficult option. How? You people thinking how? What I have told you? I have told you carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight, chlorophyll, and a process is going to be conducted. And as a output of this process, glucose is the output or product of this chemical process. And as a best material, oxygen is going to be released. Oxygen is going to be released. Concept clear? Of course, clear. As oxygen is going to be released as a best product of photosynthesis. I have already told you now. So what are you thinking in your mind? Stop thinking and now listen to me. Okay, what I have told you. Can you tell me? I have already told you. You people listen to me. I have already told you. Okay, from where water is going to be taken by the plants. So from the soil. From soil From soil, by the help of roots, water is going to be taken as a arrow. Black arrow represents from where water is going to be taken. So taken by the water. Oh, don't think water is going to be taken, but water is going to be just like that, but not just like this arrow. Arrow indicates that from the soil, water is comes to various parts of the plants. Of course, yes. Of course, yes. Sir, I'm already too intelligent. So don't worry, you are saying just like that. Because I know the water is going to be here only by this way, not this way. Okay, cool down. So concept clear from where water is going to be. And now from this sunlight or from sunlight is going to be come. And chlorophyll is already present in this particular leaf. Okay, so with the help of chlorophyll, sunlight is captured by the chlorophyll, and these all things are available. So plants can do a process that is the photosynthesis, and as a result of output of photosynthesis, plants make a food called glucose, and as a best material of photosynthesis, oxygen is going to be released in the goose in the air. Goes in air. Okay, na? Okay. This is a green leaves. So what is this? Or and from where carbon dioxide is going to come in the leaf? So from air, from air. You can make this picture in your copy. Of course, we should must we make this picture in your copy for the reference person, so that if you stop watching this lecture, then you can also revise anytime by opening your notebook, note copies. Okay, okay, but not colorful. But you can also make it by using pencils. But some people or some students may think that, sir, you are saying that carbon dioxide is coming from air. But can you tell me how is it possible carbon dioxide is going to come from environment or from air inside the leaves? Of course, I will tell you how carbon dioxide will come from air. There is process, of course, process, and similarly how oxygen is released. I will taught you just a little high. Okay, or maybe can come in the next lesson, but I will everything taught you what you are thinking right now in your mind related to this particular topic. Okay then, okay then, mention this one in your copies. I will teach you later topic. Now your next topic or your new topic, and the name of the topic is that conditions necessary for photosynthesis. Do you want to know what is the meaning of this particular topic? Basically, I just wants to told you or share with you that what is the requirement for photosynthesis and what is that material which is necessary to do a process that is the photosynthesis, and without this material photosynthesis cannot be possible. Do you want to know what is that material? Of course, yes. So I have written already following are the conditions necessary for photosynthesis. There each conditions or there are some cases which should must be fulfilled in order to do a process called photosynthesis, and if any one is absent, then photosynthesis will not take place by the plants. Concept clear? So what is that? So I have written here is that the first one is the carbon dioxide, second one is the water, and the third one is the sunlight, and the fourth one is the chlorophyll. Concept clear? Anyone. So if someone may ask you how many conditions necessary for photosynthesis, then you will just simply say that there are the four different conditions which is necessary for photosynthesis. And if any one is absent, and there is lack of any one this material, then photosynthesis process will not take place. I think you people getting my point, what I want to say. Okay then. You can write it in your notebook or in your copy. This particular topic is very important for your classes 9, 10, 11, 12, because this what I just sharing you in this particular chapter is just like a basement, and basement is how much useful you also know that. What is the importance of this basement? Because basement is the building for your upper building houses. Of course, yes. Of course, yes. Then you can write it. Then we will move. Okay, you have written. Okay, let me finish to the next one. Your next topic, and the name of the topic is the how the plants obtain carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Some people thinking there that, sir, you are saying that carbon dioxide will comes from air, or which is taken by the leaves of plants from air. Then how is it possible? Then I am saying the answers of that particular questions here, and I will show you with figure. So don't worry. Listen to me. I am saying that the plants take carbon dioxide gas from air through the teeny pores called as stomata. So this point is the most important point for your objective questions. So you should must remember this point. Okay? Okay, I know you will remember this point for your examination or your several competitive examination. This point can becomes. Okay, carbon dioxide will comes from air, and in these things you should not be thinking any problems because this is the truth. Of course, yes. But how the question arises is that the plants will take from gas, that is the carbon dioxide gas from air through the tiny pores called stomata. And stomata is the place where the exchange of gases takes place on the surface of leaf, but by a tiny pores called stomata. If someone may ask you, कि exchange of carbon dioxide or oxygen takes place by which pores, by which tiny pores, then you will just simply say that name of that pore is the stomata. It's all right, all right. Okay, next one I have written here. The singular of stomata is stoma. Some people may be ask you, what is the singular of stomata? So I have written here stoma. Stoma is the singular word of stomata. You should must remember these points. What I just wants to told you and what I am teaching here. Okay, next one I am writing here is that there are a large number of teeny pores called stomata is present on the surface of leaves of plants. Why I have written this particular point? Why I have written? I have written because some people thinking that, sir, you are saying that a teeny pores called stomata. Through this teeny or tiny pores, how exchange of such huge carbon dioxide will comes from air inside the leaves? So not a single pore, but there are large amount of teeny pores present as in the form of stomata. So that's why that is possible. How is it possible? So due to large number of stomata is present on the surface of leaves, so that's why carbon dioxide gaseous exchange can be takes place in easy way. Concept clear? Of course clear. Okay then, cool now. Next point is the important point. You should must remember. Each pore of a stoma, that means a stomata, is surrounded by a pair of guard cell. Guard cell. A stomata is not alone, but a stomata is safe or surrounded by a guard cell. Some people thinking that, what are you saying? You are saying guard cell. Of course, yes, but not a security guard, but it's a guard cell. We want to know how a guard cell look like. Okay, I will show you figure. But let me explain some ideas about this guard cell. Guard cell is just like a two beans structure. Two beans structure just like this, just like this. Suppose that this pore or this hole is a stomata, and this the first one and the second one, these are the one pair of guard cell or two guard cell, and the in pair there is one pair, and the number of guard cell is the two, the first one, the second one, and this pore is the name of this pore is the stomata. So this is a bean shaped structure or kidney shaped structure. Was it clear? So what I just wants to explain you, I just wants to explain you the guard cell surrounds a stomata or a stomata is surrounded by guard cells. Was it clear? Clear. So this particular point is important for your examination. So you should must be remember this particular point. Okay, let me explain the next one. Next one is also important. The opening and the closing of this stomatal pore is controlled by guard cell. Controlled by guard cell. Actually, the stomata, suppose that this stomata is closed, then the exchange of gases will not take place because the pores is closed, and when this pores will be opened, then exchange of gases will takes place. So who opened this gate? So this gate will be opened by this guard cell. Okay, when guard cell become a straight, then a pores will be closed or a stomatal pores will be closed, but then when guard cell is curved, then pores are opens. Should must be keep in mind, if you will, should must be keep in your mind. Okay, okay then, okay then I will write down this please in your notebook. I will show you the figure. Okay. Okay then, let me explain with figure. So what are you saying and what you people watching in this particular figure? You are seeing that or you are watching that this how the structure is going to be looks like. But first of all, I just want to say you should must write down this structure in your notebook. So you should write this structure please in your notebook so that you can anytime reverse this figure. Have you written? Of course. Okay. This is how this is the surface of a leaf. I have already written here the surface of a leaf. After magnifying the surface of leaves, how the leaves looks like. A structure, what's here written? Figure about the figure. But the figure, teeny pores called stomata are present on the surface of leaves. Pores is called stomata. So where is the stomata present? The stomata is present on the surface of leaves. So this is also important. Okay then. Let me explain this here. So what about this one? Actually, a stomata is this one. This is the stomatal pore, or this is the stomatal. This pore, name of this pore is the stomata, and this is also some stomata, or you can say that a stomata pore. A stomatal pores, but not a pole. Okay then. Now this structure, this particular structure, what about this structure? So this particular structure, name of this particular structure is the guard cell, and this structure is the guard cell. Okay, this structure is how it look like. So this is the guard cell, and a stomatal pore is surrounded by how many guard cell? The two guard cell, which is how many pairs? So one pairs. And when guard cell, this is also a guard cell, but half because figure is only here. So that's why the figure of full guard cell is not available. Okay then, but this is also a guard cell. Okay, and this is also a stomatal pore. Okay then. So what about this figure? So when the guard cell is curved, when the guard cell is curved, not a straight, then a stomatal pores will be open. And when when a stomatal pore will open, when photosynthesis is going to be run, or when the plants will do a process name called food making process, that is the photosynthesis, then during that time, plants needs or require carbon dioxide to complete the process of photosynthesis. So that's why plants will open this stomatal pore in order to take carbon dioxide, so that the carbon dioxide can go enter the leaf through these stomatal pores. Okay, concept clear? Of course clear. And not only this stomatal pore is present, but a abundant amount of stomatal pore is already available on the surface of leaf. Concept clear? Of course, yes. Very good, very nice. And actually, this is the figure, or this is the structure of open stomata. First of all, you will write the figure of this stomata, of this open stomata, and lower side you should must make a figure of this closed stomata one by one, but not what I have marked with this pen, but you should write only without marking of this figure. Okay, that is the original figure. Now let me explain this figure, and this is the closed stomata. So how a closed stomata looks like, what's happening or what is going to be happening in this particular figure. So in this particular figure, God in this figure the guard cell is curved, so there is the hole or there is pore, you can see clearly, and this is the stomatal pore, this is the stomatal pore. But in this figure the guard cell is that is just like this guard cell, but here the guard cell become a straight, and when guard cell become a straight, this all touches to each other, and there is no opening of a stomatal cell. That means there is closed a stomatal cell. Of course, yes. Concept clear? Of course clear. So this is how guard cell becomes, when the guard cell becomes a straight, then this is the structure of guard cell. A straight guard cell, already here mentioned that guard cell, but a straight structure of guard cell. When the guard cell, two guard cell become a straight, then a stomatal pore will be closed. Concept clear? Of course clear. I think you have learned about this one in detail. Okay, then we will see you soon in the next classes, in the next lecture. But for that moment, you should must be a stay connected or a stay happy, a stay rigid with your determination, with your goals. So, okay then. So we will talk you many more different things in the next lecture. For that moment, you should must be bet. So love you all. See you soon.